The airport was buzzing, full of people rushing to catch their flights. And then they arrived. A little yellow parade of overalls and goggles, led by tall, determined Kevin. Stuart, with his one eye, strummed a tiny ukulele. And little Bob clutched his teddy bear. Tim, looking around with wide, innocent eyes. Their mission! Get on the plane! But first, they had to check in. What could possibly go wrong? They waddled up to the long, winding line for the check-in counter. Kevin puffed out his chest, holding a banana-shaped ticket. But waiting wasn't their strong suit. Stuart started poking the person in front of them with his ukulele. Bob tried to make friends with a suitcase, offering it a bite of his apple. Things were already getting weird, and they hadn't even reached the counter yet. Can they even make it through the line? Suddenly, Bob spotted the luggage conveyor belt, a moving river of bags. His eyes lit up with a happy poppadom. He placed Tim the teddy bear onto the belt. Tim disappeared into a dark tunnel. Oh no! Bob's eyes filled with tears. Kevin and Stuart saw what happened, and a rescue mission was launched. What will happen to poor Tim? Without a second thought, the three minions scrambled onto the conveyor belt. They zipped past suitcases, dodged backpacks, and tumbled over each other like yellow bowling pins. They were heading straight for the mysterious dark tunnel where all the luggage goes. People in the airport stopped and stared, pointing and laughing at the chaotic scene. Will they be able to rescue Tim before it's too late? Inside the luggage system, it was a wild ride. It was like a giant, dark roller coaster. They zoomed up steep hills and plunged down sudden drops, screaming their minion screams. Better, Banana, Trotty, Loti, I, AMO, they yelled, bouncing off suitcases. They were getting further and further into the belly of the airport. They might never find their way out. Meanwhile, a grumpy security guard saw the yellow blurs on his monitor. He squinted. What in the blazes? He muttered, adjusting his glasses. He saw three little creatures riding the luggage belts like it was an amusement park. He grabbed his walkie-talkie. We have, some unidentified yellow objects in the baggage system. Can he catch them before they cause more trouble? Back in the luggage maze, Bob finally spotted him. Tim the teddy bear was stuck on a spinning carousel, going around and around with a pink suitcase and a set of golf clubs. Tim! Bob cried. Kevin, thinking fast, grabbed a long umbrella that was sticking out of a bag. He had a plan, a very wobbly plan, but this could be their only chance. Kevin tried to hook the umbrella onto Tim, but the carousel was spinning too fast. Stuart, trying to help, grabbed onto Kevin's legs, and Bob grabbed onto Stuart's. They formed a long minion chain, stretching and swaying dangerously over the spinning bags. One wrong move, and they could all go flying into a pile of lost luggage. With one final, desperate lunge, Kevin snagged Tim's arm with the umbrella's handle. Got him! He pulled, and the three minions tumbled backward in a heap, with Tim the teddy bear safely in Bob's arms. They had done it! But their celebration was cut short by the sound of approaching footsteps and an angry voice. They were caught! The grumpy security guard had found them. All right, you three, your little joyride is over, he boomed. But as he reached for them, Stuart, in a panic, whipped out a fart gun he had hidden in his overalls and fired. A giant green cloud filled the air. Woo! The guard coughed and sputtered, waving his hands in front of his face, completely blinded. Is this their chance to escape? They didn't wait to find out. The minions scrambled away, giggling, leaving the guard in the stinky green fog. They popped out of a luggage chute right next to the security checkpoint. People gasped as the three little yellow guys appeared out of nowhere. Now they faced a new challenge. The metal detector. What kind of chaos will they cause here? Kevin walked through the metal detector first. Beep, beep, beep. The machine went crazy. The guards looked confused. Kevin was just wearing overalls. He shrugged, then remembered. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a fork, a spoon, a wrench, 3 paper clips, and a metal spatula. Where did he get all that stuff? Next was Stuart. He sauntered through with his ukulele. Beep, beep, beep! He looked offended. He held up his ukulele, which was made of wood. The guard was puzzled. Then Stuart grinned, opened a secret compartment on the back of the ukulele, and pulled out a giant metal triangle instrument. He dinged it proudly. The guards just sighed and waved him through. Then it was Bob's turn. He walked through, hugging Tim. Silence. Nothing happened. The guards looked relieved. Finally, an easy one. But as Bob walked away, he tripped. Tim, the teddy bear, fell, and when he hit the floor, clang! The guards stared. Bob nervously opened a zipper on Tim's back and a dozen stolen spoons clattered onto the floor. Bob just gave them his most innocent, wide-eyed look. They had finally made it through security. They were in the departure lounge. They saw planes outside the giant windows. Freedom. But then they smelled it. The sweet, beautiful smell of bananas. A food stand was selling banana smoothies. Their eyes went wide, and their mission to get on the plane was completely forgotten. They needed that banana smoothie. They rushed the counter. Banana! Banana! They chanted, pointing frantically. The poor guy working there didn't know what to do with the little yellow creatures demanding bananas. Stuart tried to pay with a bottle cap. Kevin offered a single lint ball from his pocket. Bob just started trying to climb the counter to get to the blender. This was their biggest mess yet. In their excitement, Kevin knocked over the giant blender. A tidal wave of yellow, sticky banana smoothie exploded all over the counter, the floor, and the very surprised smoothie maker. It was a banana disaster zone. People were slipping, and the minions were sliding around, having the time of their lives. Suddenly, they heard the final boarding call for their flight over the loudspeaker. Flight 7B2 VillainCon now boarding at Gate 4. Their eyes snapped toward the gate. They were covered in smoothie. They had caused chaos everywhere, but they couldn't miss their flight. A new race began, slipping and sliding through the banana mess toward their gate. They slid across the floor like professional hockey players, weaving around angry passengers and airport staff. They were a yellow, sticky blur. They arrived at the gate just as the attendant was about to close the door. "Wait!" Kevin yelled in his own language, holding up his banana ticket, which was now covered in smoothie. The gate agent looked at the ticket, then at the three smoothie-covered minions, and then back at the chaos they had left behind them. She sighed the biggest sigh of her life. She just wanted her shift to be over. She stamped their tickets and pointed, "Go on! Get in!" They cheered. They had made it. They ran down the jet bridge, their little feet pattering with excitement. They found their seats on the plane and buckled themselves in. Kevin gave a thumbs up. Stuart started strumming a victory tune on his ukulele, and Bob hugged a sticky Tim, the teddy bear, happy and safe. They looked at each other and burst into joyful minion laughter. They had done it. Now, what kind of trouble could they get into on the plane? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Minion Adventures.